This episode is part of a series called Misterios da Montaña, which translates to Mysteries of the Mountain. In this series, we explore the legends and myths of mountains from around the world. The mountain I will be talking about in this episode is located in Brazil. 4 people went to camp on top of this mountain, and when they set up their tent, they had a very unusual experience. But before I tell you about what happened to them, let me tell you a bit about the mountain. The mountain is called Pico de Leleco, and it is located in a region called Chapada dos Veadeiros, which is known for its mystical energy. According to local legends, the mountain is home to various spirits and creatures from another dimension. One of the most famous legends is that of the protector spirits of the mountain, which are said to be benevolent beings that watch over those who visit the Pico de Leleco. These spirits are often described as luminous, ethereal beings that appear as a white mist or cloud around the summit of the mountain. They are said to be so powerful that they can influence the weather, causing sudden changes in temperature or the appearance of fog. Now let's get back to the story of the 4 campers. The 4 friends decided to spend a night on top of the mountain in a tent. They had heard the legends of the protector spirits, but they were skeptical. They set up their tent and made a campfire and started telling scary stories. Suddenly, they began to feel a strange presence around them. They could hear strange noises and feel a cold breeze even though there was no wind. Then they saw the mist. It was coming closer and closer until it was right outside their tent. They were scared, but they were also curious, so they got outside the tent to take a look. The mist was swirling around them, and they could hear voices and singing. It felt like they were being watched by something. They couldn't see anything in the mist, but they could feel eyes on them. They were scared and decided to go back inside the tent and lock themselves in. After a while, the noise outside the tent stopped, and they didn't hear anything anymore. When they finally got out of the tent, the mist was gone and everything was quiet. They packed up their stuff and went home. They never went back to that mountain, and they never told anyone about their experience until now. This story is just one of many that have been passed down through generations in the Chapada dos Veadeiros region. The mountain is still considered to be a sacred place, and many people come here to connect with the spiritual energy of the mountain. Some people believe that the protector spirits can grant wishes or provide guidance and wisdom to those who seek them out. However, others warn that the spirits can also be dangerous if you don't respect them. What do you think about this story? Do you believe in protector spirits, or do you have any other explanation for what the campers experienced? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this episode, then please leave a like and subscribe for more content. I would also like to take a moment to say a special thank you to my supporters, whose names you can see on the screen right now. I'm so grateful for your support, and if you would like to support me too, then you can check the links in the description below. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye. This is a story of survival. This is a story of horror, and for some of us, this will be a story of truth. Welcome to Misterios da Montaña, where today we will talk about 4 people, 1 camp, and lots of scary encounters. The year was 1967, when 4 friends decided to go camping in the Sierra Nevada mountains. The group consisted of 2 couples who had not yet revealed their identities. But before we move forward, do subscribe for more such amazing videos and press the bell icon so that you can be notified whenever a new video is being uploaded. Let's begin. While driving through the woods, they saw a perfect place to set up camp and decided to stop there. As soon as they finished setting up their tents, it started raining. One of the men went into the tent to get something out while the others stayed outside talking. Suddenly they heard screams in the forest and immediately became frightened. They all looked at each other, not knowing what to do next. One of them decided to investigate while the others kept watch. He took a flashlight with him to check out the area, but when he came back, his face was pale and he told everyone to pack up and leave. Even though no one knew what he had seen, they all listened to him and left that place. Some believed that what they witnessed was a bear, but none of them were willing to go back and confirm it. Sometime later, they decided to return and find out what it really was. After calming themselves down, they went back to the same spot where they had set up their tent. The man who had gone earlier to check out the noise wanted to go again, but this time alone. His friends agreed and said they would wait for him at the car. He walked deep into the woods and suddenly found a huge bear sitting in front of the tent. The bear was angry and scared, and he ran away. The man followed him deeper into the forest until he lost sight of him. When he returned, his friends were nowhere to be found. Neither were the tents. Thinking that maybe they had gone home, he got into the car and drove off. The very next day, the police found both the tents and the car, and since then no one has ever seen or heard from those 4 people again. Some say that they are still wandering around in the mountains, while others believe that the bear had taken them away. It may sound like just another wild animal attack, but locals insist that there is more to the story. According to them, the area is full of spirits, and it's best to stay away from here. Before we continue further, tell us in the comments section what you think about this story so far. If you are enjoying this video, then do subscribe and become a part of our family. Now, moving on. In this episode, we will look at local tales that recount terrifying supernatural encounters with spirits and creatures of the night. From strange lights in the sky to eerie sounds echoing through the darkness, we will explore spine-chilling accounts that have been passed down through generations. These stories offer a glimpse into the unknown, leaving us to wonder about the mysteries that lie beyond our perception. Through these chilling narratives, we will discover how the veil between the supernatural and our reality can become thin, allowing us to connect with the spirits that may be among us. So brace yourself for an unsettling journey into the realm of the paranormal as we uncover the spine-tingling secrets hidden within local folklore. Are you someone who believes in ghosts? Well, if you are, then you should never go camping in the mountains because they are filled with evil spirits. According to local legends, the mountains are home to various types of spirits, both good and bad. The good spirits are typically associated with particular places and are said to protect those who enter their territory. On the other hand, the bad spirits are drawn to negative energy and can cause harm to those who disrespect the mountains or disturb their peace. For example, one legend tells the story of a hiker who stumbled upon a sacred Native American burial ground while hiking in the Beartooth Wilderness. Despite warnings from locals, he decided to venture into the restricted area and was subsequently attacked by a bear. He barely managed to survive the encounter, but was forever traumatized by the experience. Another hiker claimed to have encountered a mysterious creature that knocked her off her path and stared at her with glowing red eyes. She escaped unharmed, but she was shaken to her core by the experience and never returned to the mountains alone again. These stories serve as cautionary tales for those who enter the wilderness, reminding them to be respectful and cautious of the powerful forces that may be at play. Have you ever heard of the Guardian of the Mountain? Well, if you haven't, let me tell you about it. There is a local legend that speaks of a fearsome beast that lurks in the most remote regions of the mountains. According to the tale, this creature is a protector of the sacred sites and is said to attack anyone who trespasses or disrespects the natural environment. The Guardian of the Mountain is often depicted as a large, hairy humanoid with sharp claws and teeth and a ferocious demeanor. It is said to move with incredible speed and agility, leaping over obstacles and attacking its victims with great force. Those who have encountered the Guardian speak of its piercing gaze and deafening roar, which can strike fear into the hearts of even the bravest souls. The legend serves as a warning to those who enter the mountain to stay on the path and avoid disturbing the sacred sites. It is believed that the guardian is only visible to those who are pure of heart, and that it attacks those who have bad intentions. While some dismiss the legend as a mere folktale, others believe that it holds some truth. They tell stories of hikers who have gone missing in the mountains, never to be seen again. It is said that the guardian of the mountain is responsible for taking those who disrespect the wilderness, and that their souls are forever trapped in the mountains. While there is no concrete evidence to support the existence of the guardian of the mountain, the legend continues to live on through the stories of those who believe. Whether it is a figment of imagination or a real creature, the tale serves as a reminder to respect the power and mystery of the natural world. Spirits are commonly associated with protecting sacred sites, such as ancient burial grounds, springs, or trees. In some cases, they are said to appear in the form of animals, such as bears, wolves, or birds, while in others, they may manifest as human-like figures or disembodied voices. For example, there is a story about a group of campers who set up their tent near a sacred spring in the Beartooth Wilderness. As they slept, they were awakened by the sound of drums and chanting, and they saw the spirits of the Native Americans who had once lived in the area performing a ceremony by the spring. Another group of campers claimed to have seen the ghost of a young girl who had drowned in a nearby lake. Her spirit was said to wander the shoreline at night, searching for her lost dog. These stories highlight the importance of respecting the spiritual significance of certain places and the need to tread lightly when in nature. It is important to note that while some people believe in the existence of these protective spirits and take great care to avoid disturbing them, others dismiss them as superstitious nonsense. However, it is always wise to err on the side of caution when exploring the wilderness and to be respectful of the beliefs and customs of indigenous cultures. After all, we can never be truly sure what we might encounter in the vast and mysterious expanse of the great outdoors. We hope you enjoyed this spooky episode of Mysteries of the Mountain. Remember to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Do subscribe for more spine-chilling tales and join us next time for another thrilling ride. Thank you for watching and happy haunting. In this episode of Misterios da Montaña, we'll look at 4 people, 1 campsite and supernatural encounters. Our story begins in the early 1970s in the remote wilderness of the Sierra de las Minas Mountains in eastern Guatemala. The mountains are part of the larger Central American volcanic arc, which stretches from El Salvador to Mexico. This region is home to several ancient Maya sites, and during the Spanish colonial period, the indigenous people of the area were forced to flee to the mountains to escape the conquistadors. Some of their descendants still live there today, maintaining a strong connection to their cultural heritage and traditions. It was here, in this rugged terrain, that tales of spirits, witchcraft, and magic flourished. This is the site where our story takes place. It's a large, flat area surrounded by tall trees and thick undergrowth. It's not clear when people began camping here, but archaeologists have found evidence of human habitation in the area dating back thousands of years. During the time of our story, it was used primarily by local farmers and hunters who would come to the forest for respite from the heat or to hunt animals such as deer and wild boars. There are also stories of people who come to the forest to escape the war that has plagued the country since the 1960s. It was around this time that 4 friends decided to go camping. They were all university students studying to be teachers and had come to the mountains to get away from the stress of exams. But what they didn't know was that they were about to experience something that would change their lives forever. When they arrived at the clearing, they pitched their tent and settled in for the night. As darkness fell, they gathered around a campfire and told stories and jokes. But they couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. The trees seemed to be watching them, and the wind rustled through the leaves like whispers. Then they heard what sounded like screams in the forest, but they were too afraid to investigate. As the night wore on, the friends began to see strange things. They saw the shadow of a man walking past their camp, but when they turned their light on him, he disappeared. They also saw strange lights flashing in the trees and heard footsteps near their camp, but when they investigated, they found nothing. They tried to ignore these strange occurrences, but as the night went on, they became more frequent and more intense. At one point, one of the friends, Pablo, went to the bathroom in the forest behind the tent. As he was relieving himself, he heard a loud crash and turned to see a huge rock monolith moving towards him. He ran back to the tent as fast as he could, shaking with fear. When he told his friends what had happened, they didn't believe him at first. But then they started hearing strange noises outside the tent and decided to stay inside for the rest of the night. In the morning, they unzipped the tent to see hundreds of little pebbles surrounding the tent in a circle. They didn't know what to make of this, but decided to pack up and leave. As they were packing, they heard a loud crash and saw a rock monolith fall over, blocking the road. They were trapped. They decided to walk into the forest to find another way out, but soon realized they were being followed by a strange presence. They turned around and saw a man made of rocks chasing them. They ran as fast as they could, but the rock man was gaining on them. In a panic, they turned to see a river nearby and jumped into the water. As they swam to the other side, they felt the rockman's presence lift and knew they had escaped whatever it was that was haunting them. Shaken but unharmed, they eventually found their way out of the forest and back to civilization. When they told their story to the local villagers, they were met with both fascination and skepticism. Some believed their story, pointing to the strange occurrences that have been known to happen in the mountains. Others thought it was just a prank gone wrong, but the friends knew what they had experienced and vowed never to return to the forest. But their story doesn't end there. Years later, one of the friends, Pablo, returned to the forest with his girlfriend. He was curious to see if the strange presence was still there and if it would try to contact him again. But this time, it wasn't the same. When they set up camp, they felt a sense of peace and tranquility. The forest seemed to be welcoming them back. But as night fell, the atmosphere changed. They heard strange sounds in the trees and saw strange lights flashing. Then they felt a cold presence near them and heard footsteps near their tent. Then Pablo saw something that made his blood run cold. It was the Rock Man. He stood there for a moment, then turned and walked away. Pablo and his girlfriend packed up and left as quickly as they could. They never looked back. Pablo's story serves as a reminder of the power of the mountains to both heal and haunt. For some, the mountains are a place of peace and tranquility, where they can escape the stress of everyday life. For others, however, the mountains are a place of danger and mystery, where they may encounter something that they can never explain. The story of Pablo and his friends is just one of many tales of supernatural encounters in the Sierra de las Minas mountains. Many of these stories have been passed down for generations, and some locals even claim to have seen the Rock Man for themselves. While skeptics may dismiss these stories as mere superstition, there's something about them that has captured the imagination of people around the world. Now let's take a closer look at the local legends and see what they tell us about the supernatural elements of the mountains. In many cultures, mountains are seen as sacred places where the boundary between the physical and spiritual realms is thinnest. This is particularly true in the Sierra de las Minas mountains, where the local legends are filled with stories of spirits, witchcraft, and magic. One common theme in these stories is the idea that the mountains are home to protective spirits that guard the sacred sites and natural wonders. These spirits are often described as benevolent beings that help those who respect them, but they can be dangerous to those who do not. The Rock Man, for example, could be seen as a protective spirit that is angered by the presence of outsiders in its territory. This is a common motif in many mountain legends, and it reflects the deep reverence that people have for the natural world. Another common theme in the local legends is the idea that the mountains are full of hidden treasures and secrets. According to legend, the Sierra de las Minas Mountains are home to lost cities, hidden caves, and secret pathways that lead to other realms. Some say that the mountains are full of gold and jewels left behind by the ancient Maya, while others believe that there are underground tunnels that connect the different mountain ranges. While these legends may seem far-fetched, they offer a glimpse into the rich cultural heritage of the region and the deep connection that the locals have to the land. Overall, the local legends of the Sierra de las Minas Mountains paint a picture of a place that is both beautiful and dangerous. A place where the boundaries of the natural and spiritual worlds are blurred, and where the forces of good and evil are constantly at war. Now let's take a broader look at similar legends from around the world to see if there are any common threads. Mountain narratives often center around themes of isolation, danger, and the unknown. The towering heights and rugged terrain of mountains have inspired awe and fear in humans for centuries, leading to the creation of legends that reflect these feelings. In many cultures, mountains are seen as the home of spirits and other supernatural beings. These beings are often depicted as powerful and mysterious, capable of great acts of kindness or great acts of cruelty. In some legends, the spirits are benevolent and protective of those who respect the mountain, while in others, they are malevolent and vengeful towards those who trespass. One common type of mountain spirit is the guardian, a being that protects the mountain and its inhabitants from harm. These guardians are often depicted as having supernatural powers and are called upon to help those who are in danger. For example, in Japanese folklore, the mountain god, or Yamakami, is revered as the protector of the forests and mountains and is often invoked for help in times of need. Another common type of mountain spirit is the trickster, a being that uses wit and deception to outsmart those who interact with it. These tricksters are often portrayed as mischievous and unpredictable and are capable of causing both great joy and great sorrow. The Korean folktale about the goddess Cheonji, who lives on top of a mountain and plays tricks on mortals, is an example of this type of legend. In addition to these more positive and negative portrayals of mountain spirits, there are also legends of more sinister beings that inhabit the mountains, such as ogres, trolls, and other mythical creatures. These creatures are often depicted as being violent and dangerous, and are said to live in remote areas of the mountains where they can prey on unsuspecting travelers. One common theme in mountain legends is the idea that the mountains are full of hidden wonders, and that those who explore them will be rewarded with great treasures and knowledge. In some legends, the mountains are said to contain magical objects and substances that can grant wishes or bestow powers. For example, in Chinese folklore, the legendary elixir of immortality is said to be hidden on top of a high mountain, and those who find it can achieve immortality. These are just a few of the common elements and themes that appear in mountain legends from around the world. From the most isolated peaks to the deepest valleys, the mountains continue to inspire awe and wonder in humans, and will likely continue to do so for centuries to come. In the case of the Sierra de las Minas Mountains, the local legends suggest that the mountains are home to a variety of supernatural beings, including benevolent protectors and more sinister creatures. The story of the Rockman could be seen as an example of a local spirit that is angered by the presence of outsiders in its territory. As we continue to explore these legends and myths, we can gain a deeper understanding of the cultural and historical context that shaped them. By learning about the beliefs and values of the people who created these stories, we can better appreciate the richness and complexity of human culture. Thanks for joining me on this journey through the Misterios de Montaña. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like and subscribe for more. Until next time, keep exploring the mysteries of the mountains and the world around us.